This time on Roadkill, this truck nearly killed us, but we overcame.
We're cruising the Pacific Northwest in our F-250.
And man, it is clapped out.
Oh, it's junk.
But we rescued it.
Fixed.
We're in Sandy, Oregon. Our crew guy, Mason, bought this 67 F-250 4x4, and it's got like a later model grill and stuff, so don't freak out when you see it and you're like, that's not a 67. But regardless, we're going to Wildcat Auto Wrecking, and we're gonna go shopping. This is a Mopar-only yard.
Do you think they'll let us on the property in our Ford? What is this, an F-250?
Yeah, 4x4. This truck's great.
So far, so good. We've got a little getting used to the shifter.
Yeah, the carburetor's pretty terrible.
Like, it just has a happy spot near
Yeah.
wide open throttle, and that's it. But our crew guy, Mason, drove this over 100 miles, so I'd humiliate myself if I have trouble with it.
I know.
Yeah. Being out here in the Pacific Northwest, driving an F-250 from the late 60s, long bed, 4x4 on skinny tires, it's just something feels right about it to me.
100%.
Really?
Yeah. We could just drive this home and fix it for Mason, since he obviously would not be able to solve this carburetor on his own.
No.
I'm starting to fall in love with the F-250. I'm seriously considering driving it home now.
It would be a joyous drive.
That's not very good.
It surges.
And pops. Made it.
Yeah.
I love the truck, but man, it runs like doo-doo.
It does.
A Wildcat Auto Wrecking in Sandy, Oregon. It's a Mopar-only yard, and they have everything, including the wiring harness that we removed from the General Mayhem. So why are we here? Let's just review. A very recent episode of Roadkill Garage had me and Dulcich going to Yakima, Washington to pick up my Wagoneer. And on the road home with the Wagoneer, we stopped by another wrecking yard where Dulcich impulsively bought a 1964 Cadillac DeVille. The DeVille, as you know, is the convertible model. And we weren't able to resist the Cadillac, so we began to motor that thing home. But then we left it right here at Wildcat Auto Wrecking. So on this episode of Roadkill, we had planned to bring the Cadillac all the way home. But then Mason, our crew guy, bought that 67 F-250. And Dulcich and I drove it over here and just fell in love with the thing. So what's gonna happen is Dulcich and I are gonna drive that F-250, hopefully fix it up for Mason along the way. Probably not. And then he is gonna drive the Cadillac. And what this means is that we have twice the chances at failure, but look at it this way. It's also double the chance that at least one of them is gonna make it all the way back to Steve's house. So that's the plan. We're gonna surf around here at the wrecking yard just for a little bit because we can, and then we're gonna hit the road.
We can't rescue our crew member from this truck, but we may be able to rescue the truck from our crew member.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
You know what I like about this one?
No.
Is the key all the way over here.
Just like a CUDA.
Yeah. Well, the CUDA's on the tail panel. This is on the trunk.
If you were a collector of police vehicles, it's pure gold.
Oh, there's a bunch of C-bodies over here. Wow, look at that Challenger. This is factory pink. I'm really bad at years on
I think
these.
it's probably a 58, I would guess.
Yeah, I'm not good at that, but I know it's pink. Man, we had a great time walking around Wildcat Auto. We didn't see anything that we wanted to rescue this time. Nothing that was anywhere near running and driving. So I guess we're gonna take off and cross your fingers. We'll see how far we make it.
Be prepared, it's not gonna start.
I know. Woo! Wow, look at it smoke out the valve cover. That's got no spark. Stop. You're gonna kill the starter.
I think what we need to do is get one of the production vehicles and put jumper cables to the battery.
Give it a shot. That should fire. It's cranking fast. Wait, wait. Yes! All right, Steve. 8,000 RPM.
Yeah. Woohoo!
So you know, this will be a comedy. Let's go. So what are your bets, Steve? Are these both gonna make it all the way to your place?
Oh, 100%.
Which one are we gonna work on more?
This truck,
Yeah.
I think Cadillac's pretty much turnkey as long as we keep oil in it.
Yeah. So here's what this truck is.
So let's hear it.
It's a 1967 F-250. It's got later model, like, front clip on it, grill and fenders, and a different bed. It's a Ford FE engine, FE meaning Ford Edsel. It's a 352, we presume, and it's an NP 435 four-speed transmission with granny low, and I think it's a 205 transfer case, but I have not looked at it to confirm.
What rear end do they use in these?
This should have a Dana 60 and a Dana 44.
Oh, okay. And it's a divorce transfer case, I presume?
Yeah.
It does kind of fit the country here.
I love it. I was thinking about moving here.
Have you seen any Sasquatches yet?
Not yet. Wow, this thing's smoking out the left bank pretty hard.
Yeah, it is.
I would let this thing cool off and then we should work on it.
Yeah.
We should do goop, we should do coolant, we should do something about the carburetor.
Yeah. Once you get going at steady speed, though, I think it's fairly okay.
Where's the hood? Maybe we can lube the hood hinges.
Yeah.
We're anxious to hit the road here, but we figure we need to go through some maintenance. So we're gonna change the oil, change the spark plugs, check the charging system, spray the carburetor because there's not much else we can do right now, and then try it again. Steven mentioned he thought this was a 205 transfer case, which is actually really good. It's not. This is a Spicer Model 24. It is a two-speed, like an F100 would have a Spicer 21 that is actually a transfer case with no low range. Steve, do you mind throwing me a gear oil? Let's hit this with some sauce.
David, come on. Control yourself.
All right, trans.
Hey, David.
There's the one.
Uh-oh, Spaghetti-O, look at that one.
Bingo.
That one's pumping a little oil.
Was that 8?
That was...
Remember? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8? It's numbered.
Isn't it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8?
No.
Yes, it's number 8. In which case, I wasn't going to argue with you.
This one is junk.
Yes.
Wow. That is a lot of oil. Trans is good.
Good. This battery is not a very comfortable seat, but it's all I've got.
This is a Dana 60 rear axle, and it should have 456 gears in it with really short tires. That is gonna buzz some RPM on the highway.
David, I think you might have some digestive issues need addressing.
This thing was empty. I got all the oil drained out. I think we decided to go 2 goops and 3 quarts of actual oil. 1 goop in. What I'm pouring in here is super thick, super goo, high mileage engine treatment.
So there's no ambiguity about it. This carburetor is not functioning properly. Thinking maybe there's just a little bit of dirt in the air bleeds or something like that. I'm gonna try spraying it out with some carb cleaning brake cleaner. If it doesn't work any better, we'll probably have to take it apart and rebuild it. I really doubt that's gonna do anything, but might as well give it a shot.
Cranking slow. Oh, it wanted to, it wanted to. There it goes. It's gonna go. Got it. I think we should check the firing order on this thing. Could lead to it running the way it is. Ah, that's a lot of smoke out of the valve cover. I'm gonna check the voltage, see if it's charging, which it isn't. Went from 11.6 to 11.9.
I don't think that's charging
I
at
don't
all.
think it is either.
What you just witnessed right there is a FE big block Ford running terribly.
154-26378.
Okay.
So here's 15463. Ah, I was hoping that was way wrong.
Yeah.
Now we're looking at the points to see how they are. It appears to be new. The lobes on the cam are not junk. The distributor doesn't have too much wobble in it.
These are all carboned up.
Yeah. I think we're gonna attempt to buy a new cap for the thing and see if that helps. Okay, go, Steve. So much better. The other problem we're experiencing is that the charging system is not working, which we tested just a minute ago.
Yeah, I didn't see anything here on the amp meter, which...
Yeah, wonder, this has got a new alternator on it. Oh, wait, there's wires falling off of it. Okay, I'm gonna make Steve troubleshoot that because he made me change all the fluids, and I'm gonna go get a distributor cap. Part store is just like in this parking lot, super handy. I'm making you rewire the alternator while I go get a distributor cap.
Okay. Okay, so that's not connected to anything. This one seems to be connected to something. We're trying to get the charging system working. We found a brand new regulator in the truck bed, and I'm gonna put that in and see if it helps. It can't hurt. So, here it goes.
Old cap, new cap. Okay, I don't know if that'll help, but it can't hurt. Now we're gonna test it. Firing. 12.1, 12.2, 12.3, 4, 5. That works. And you'll notice that it runs slightly better. That carburetor is still trash, but we're gonna deal with that later. We gotta find a store that has a carb kit. For now, we're hitting the road.
It has to find carburetor. Man, that's terrible.
Yeah. Oh, we're going east to Mount Hood before we go south.
Okay. It needs that perfect blend of RPM, throttle position, and speed.
It's definitely the carburetor.
Or it could be fuel delivery.
Or that, yeah. It's kind of refreshing not knowing the temperature or oil pressure.
An overheating issue, the engine will speak to us by the smell.
Start to clatter.
The valve train clattering, the inevitable rod knock, the engine seizing.
Right. That guy thought he was getting shot.
Yeah. The engine's dead.
It doesn't like the sudden decel.
The engine's dead.
This thing died coming down the hill because when you lift off the throttle, I think the idle is too low. We pushed it in here with the help of crew guys and a good Samaritan, which was cool. And now we're gonna see if we can get it running. Yeah, it puked everywhere out the bypass. Steve's gonna idle it up now to see if we can fix that dying problem. Start!
Come on!
Ah,
We need jumper cables.
we need a new fix for this. Sounds good. All right, let me check spark. Hold on, big fire. There we go, it stopped. When you stopped cranking, it stopped burning.
maybe the coil got hot and now it's not giving a very strong spark? Like, is it a baby spark? Like not baby shark, don't break out into song here.
It jumped half an inch or quarter inch.
Okay.
Set everything on fire.
Well, you could do a song called Baby Spark if you want to.
No thanks.
Got ourselves a brand new high-performance coil, so hopefully our spark will be more intense and this thing will fire through the fog of blow-by and oil contamination and whatever else. It sounds better to me.
Andy idled it up, so it's running faster now. So what do you think? Did it fire up because of the coil or because it cooled down?
Cool down.
Yeah.
And the coil.
Yeah, win! Ha ha!
That was pretty good. Engine's dead. How far do we get?
38 yards.
Oh.
It's arguably worse than before. It's just...
Yeah, something like that.
Right.
Attaboy.
Ooh.
Ooh, that's a lot of pressure.
That is definitely hot.
We didn't even get a quarter of a mile down the road, and it started to really buck and not want to cooperate. Don't do this at home. It can be dangerous. Okay, gotten rid of all the dangerous pressure. Ready?
So the voltage is 10.6 while it's running, but it's only 6 volts when you turn the ignition on. So what I'm seeing here is that it doesn't have full power to the coil when cranking at all, and when it is running, it's low power. We're gonna try a jumper wire from the battery to the coil to see if it makes it run any better.
Ah, for crying out loud, now we got trouble.
We're at the point of troubleshooting by guess. Steve told me to advance the timing, so that's what I'm gonna do. That's advanced. Give it a shot.
Minivan. It's so painful.
This is what you get when you let a production assistant buy a car.
It is absolutely agonizing.
Yes. All right, crew, we need your minivan again. What we're gonna do this time is jump it directly to the starter relay. Didn't do anything.
Do you want to give it a shot of ether and then I'll just start it right up?
The ether's a proven failure.
Yeah, I know, but it makes me feel better.
Yeah, you like it.
It worked.
Let's go.
Mason, move that Cadillac.
Is it not gonna wanna climb the hill?
It will.
That's fuel, right?
Sure does feel like it.
Yeah, I mean, this engine's shot. Although I notice it's not smoking today because of the goop.
Yeah.
We're climbing up the grade to Mount Hood. This is frustrating.
It's not getting any gas.
Yeah. That's a wide spot. You want to stop? What a mess. All right, our new theory is fuel delivery problem is why it won't climb a hill. And the problem with not starting when hot
It's unrelated.
Unrelated, but frustrating.
We suspect that the built-in fuel filter on the mechanical fuel pump is clogged up because it seems like we're having fuel starvation. Now, that's a cartridge-type filter, and we don't have an extra one, but we do have an inline filter, an electric fuel pump, and a bunch of hose.
We've totally butchered this fuel system together with a ton of hose and zip ties and a pump that we had in the trunk of the Cadillac from our last adventure. I've got it really poorly wired here. What we're gonna do is run the pump and hope that we see fuel flowing in this filter, as long as it doesn't catch on fire.
Hope so.
There it goes.
Really?
Sweet. No leak at the carburetor. What we're doing here is arranging the ground wire for the fuel pump to be grounded inside the cab. That way we can turn it on and off without having to open the hood. Try it, Steve. It's working! All right, Steve, the pump's running. You want to see if it'll fire?
Of course.
Perfect.
This is literally the best it's ever run.
Watch this be the whole fix for the whole thing. Let's go! Oh!
It's me no happy. Ah!
I heard one thing fire.
We need starting fluid.
Steve's making me do starting fluid.
Come on, start!
This thing will not run on ether. How does that make any sense?
You won't start, you won't climb a hill, oh truck. Our boy Mason came and bought you, oh truck.
We're chasing our tails.
Yeah, I know.
It's like, it's one thing, it's the next, it's the next. It's like,
Get back?
oh, what's this?
Yeah, I know.
Look at that.
I just saw that.
Ah.
Something's shorting out inside this distributor.
We found a major and unusual problem with that dead short that was going on in the distributor. The condenser wire, which is connected also to the points power wire, was grounding out against the breaker plate. That should solve all of this. I also noticed that there's some carbon tracking on the tip of the rotor here, so we're just gonna sand that a little bit here on the ground. All right, I'm proud of that. We're good. Rotor, cap. As the sun sets on a beautiful Oregon day here on Roadkill, we're gonna make this thing run and GTFO. Make it run, Steve.
I will make it run right now. You ready?
Like that. Keep it running.
That's the best it's ever run.
Bye-bye. Oh, this is the best it's ever run.
I know.
Ah, still no good. That was not expert troubleshooting on our behalf. We did not display expertise. Well, we eliminated fuel delivery, which I think was a problem.
Yeah,
We solved the short in the distributor, which was clearly a problem.
absolutely.
And now we're down to the carburetor just being garbage.
Yeah, which it's been all along. Once we get past Mount Hood, the rest of the state is conquered. Right?
Yep. Now that we're going downhill, I feel pretty good.
It likes downhill.
And cooler weather. Oh yeah, that's cool outside now.
Yeah, actually it's very comfortable.
Yeah.
I like it as much as the truck.
Yeah. It's getting into the 60s, I think. Man, what an adventure this has been. We named the truck Pops because that's all it really does. You didn't see it on camera, but we like ran out of gas in the middle of the highway. Big Bad Thrash, get out, fill it up, go. It was like a disaster. And then Mason, who's driving the Cadillac and who owns the Ford, told us that this thing is starting to clatter, meaning the valve train's starting to make noise. So I'm gonna stop and put some goop and some oil in it. 1 goop, 2 oils, and ready to go. What a pain this thing is. Yeah. We gotta fix this tomorrow. no question. We're in Bend, Oregon. Yesterday was a snafu, even by roadkill standards. See, we need to make 220 miles a day in order to get all the way home, and we only made 130. To me, the problem is we're throwing parts at it, we're flailing, and we need, like, home, complete peace, and actual troubleshooting. So that's what we're gonna do, is work on the truck, we're gonna troubleshoot the thing in order, and then after that, we need to work on the Cadillac because it sounds like the starter's probably falling off.
Yeah, I think you're right on that diagnosis.
I want to check for vacuum leak, then compression test.
Okay, we can do it that way.
Yeah. He's going for the Dulcich 3 pump. We got the fuel pump going. The accelerator pump does work in this thing, by the way. Running. So far, so good. I'm gonna say it's good. Yeah, I think it's all right. All right, shut it off so it doesn't get too hot. Next thing we're gonna do is pull out all the spark plugs and do a compression test.
Still very oily.
It's way worse than the others.
Yeah, that one is me no happy.
Yeah. Here's our compression testing tool. We've got all of the spark plugs out. Steve's gonna crank it. This thing is gonna show us a PSI, and we'll see if there's any one cylinder that's worse than the others. Number 5. Okay, that was 60, Steve.
Yeah, that's all you get is 5 cranks.
Okay, that was 100.
That fires.
Yeah. Now we're going to cylinder number 7.
Let me guess, 85.
That's exactly what that is. All right, now we're going to number 8. This is our biggie. Wow, 70.
70.
Yeah, it's junk. All of these should be like 120-ish. Yeah, that's really bad. That's a big part of this thing not starting, is it's got no compression. And when the rings are that shot, they also don't draw fuel on the intake stroke. They need to have a good seal in order to create a pressure drop. So it's got no vacuum leak, no compression.
No compression. Not only is the engine trash, but the carburetor's garbage and the distributor is junk.
So what do you want to do next, distributor or carburetor?
How about if we go with the carburetor? I've been itching to rebuild that carburetor since we started.
We got a rebuild kit here in town, and what's amazing is a local parts store actually had this distributor, so we're gonna mess with that later as well. Look at that crud right there. Hopefully that's all the way through the carburetor and the passages and stuff. It'll explain our problem. That is straight up dirt. Yeah. There's crud in the carb.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, look at that.
Are you serious?
Dead cereal.
Our jet area has been reduced to probably 1/3 of its original size.
You can also see the silt in the back of this one and not as much in that one.
Hey, David, are we going to bother with this rebuild kit?
Steve.
I didn't want to ask you a rhetorical question, but everything came off just perfectly serviceable.
The only reason we needed the rebuild kit is so that we had the confidence to take the carburetor apart, but we're Freiberger and Dulcich. We don't need that. No carburetor can stop us.
No.
Ta-da! Our new carburetor has arrived. It's actually not new at all. We took it apart, cleaned it up. We're gonna put it back on. It's gonna run like fuel injection. Okay, let's reinstall it. Now we find out if the carburetor works. Ooh, what if it starts really easily? We got the thing running, but it still runs terrible. I'm gonna check the timing because I think that could be way out of whack. Okay, rev it up! When I was trying to do the ignition timing, it was super erratic. Sometimes the light wasn't flashing at all. Other times it was telling me like 13 degrees. Sometimes it was 30 degrees. And here's why. I totally should have believed Dulcich when he said this yesterday or day before yesterday that the breaker plate in this distributor is so loose it's junk, which explains why the point gap changed. Remember last night when you were all crawled in here and I was saying, how does the gap just change from one stop to another? That's why. Look at it.
I think it's flopping around the deck like a fish out of water.
We were able to get a new distributor. I can't believe small town Oregon had those.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe they drive a lot of high boys around here.
All the good stuff.
Yeah. Check this out. The brand new distributor has a sticker on it that says, warranty void if removed. You can't install the distributor without removing the gap. This is a crazy world.
I know.
I got it out, Steve.
Okay.
The thing you don't want to do is drop the oil pump push rod down into the crankcase. Because see, it is a hex-shaped shaft that goes in there, and it should have a retaining clip so that it can't come up, but sometimes they will. Fortunately, I saved it. New. All right, Steve's already lubed the distributor gear. Okay, in the right spot. There, got it.
You did?
Nailed it, Steve.
Freiburger.
Yeah.
Your talent never ceases to amaze me. Nice move on that.
Finally, we think it's fixed, although I'm not gonna swear to anything till we drive it. We stabbed that distributor in there. I timed it to 12 degrees initial, 30 degrees total, pretty conservative. It finally runs smooth. I think it's gonna be perfect. Whoa! Dude! Okay, in my defense, that thing was dangling like a piece of spaghetti and not even al dente.
Well, it kept changing all the time.
That's the thing!
Sometimes it would hit and sometimes it wouldn't.
Sometimes it would spark, sometimes it wouldn't.
Yeah.
Sometimes it was 13 degrees, sometimes it was 30. We still have to fix the Cadillac, though.
I think maybe the starter's falling out of that.
I think so.
If I could go wide open, I couldn't go wide open before.
This is great. My distributor was junk, and the carburetor had major problems.
Oh, yeah, they both were junk.
Yep.
And we're not backfiring, you know, like...
No, this is so much better. Night and day difference. Wow, this thing is good. It's actually unbelievable, the difference. It is completely drivable, no bogging. You can go wide open.
Yeah, it's fixed.
Yeah. Never question the Dulcich when he says the distributor is bad. Cadillac, we gotta look at the starter.
Here's the thing with the Cadillac. It seems to be running pretty good despite burning copious amounts of oil, but every time you start it, the starter gronches. I think it may just be falling off.
Sounds like it to me, because when it's running, it also goes. Oh, you're moving the whole transmission.
Yeah. It's got a new torque converter.
Oh, there's an adapter. Yeah. We went down to fix the starter and found out that, like, everything's loose down there. Primarily, the torque converter bolts are not tight to the flex plate. We were also looking, the transmission has an adapter to go to the engine that's cast iron about that thick. And there's like an unusual amount of wiggle between them, but we can't tell if that's just flex or normal. So first thing we're gonna do is tighten up the converter. And by we, I mean Steve. Clear?
Yep.
It's backing up, isn't it?
Stop right there.
Stopping there, keys are out.
Well, kind of explore that noise, as you know. I mean, you found the loose torque converter bolt, so that was a problem. And I tightened those all up, but the starter doesn't engage the flywheel very well. It's making a lot of gronching, but it's functional, and it's not, you can't just stick a shim in there and fix that, so.
Ah, that is hideous, but we're not fixing it. All right, let's get out of here. I thought we had this thing fixed.
Me too.
We're on the highway and it started surging and running bad, and then it just shut off twice.
I'm kind of in favor of putting the mechanical pump back on. We know that a lot of times those pumps don't like to lift, and then you add all the heat, it might not be happy.
We've been hashing this out, and I think what we decided to do is hook back up the mechanical fuel pump and get rid of the electric one, which we installed just sort of as a guess. Let's see if it works. It should fire right up. It should be gas in the bowl.
Yeah.
Ugh. Steve says it's fixed. And when Dulcich talks, people listen. Yeah, this thing runs hot.
Yeah, it does.
This is a debacle. We're driving down the highway, and once again, it starts running out of gas, surging, bucking, dying. The thing is, when it's that hot, if it blows off a radiator hose or the cap bypasses and it hits you in the face, you're gonna look like Freddy Krueger. Oh, we're taking the hood off. Ready?
Ah, man, it's heavy.
It is.
Ah. It seemed like it settled in place.
Yeah, it like fit itself in.
Nice.
Will it work?
Will it start?
Yeah. Yes. There it goes. Ah. Ah. The curve of my emotions looks like a cardiogram,
I know.
and it's soon to flatline.
I know, me too.
Ah! This is among the most frustrating roadkills ever. This is stupid. I took a bolt off the hood. I am gonna shove it in here. I'm gonna hold it near the valve cover, and it should spark. Nothing. After another session of a ridiculous amount of troubleshooting, we finally figured it out. We traced it all back down inside the distributor, and we noticed there was a huge spark across the ignition points when they would open. Those sparks will eat up the points, which is exactly what happened. They were destroyed. One of two reasons. First, this condenser that was in our brand new distributor could be garbage. Second of all, the points that were in our brand new distributor could be garbage. There's actually a third reason that's a big possibility, which is that when you're running an MSD coil or any coil that doesn't have an internal ballast resistor, with points ignition, you end up needing a ballast resistor to reduce the voltage to the coil. Now, I had measured that earlier, and when we were running, we only had about 9 volts. I thought that was okay. Maybe it only wants 7. We'll find out. Normally, if you're running a ballast resistor, you've got a circuit that bypasses it while it's cranking, so the thing will start, and then it'll run at lower voltage. We don't have that right now, so it only has 2 volts to the coil. Let's find out. Bring it up and hold it! Seven and a half when running, and it seems to fire up. I'm calling it great. Let's get out of here. Finally. Thank you guys, bye. Oh man. Oh, it's so nice to hear it running great again.
I know.
Woo!
I'm glad it started with the ballast resistor.
Look at all that oil pressure.
Yeah,
It's a flawless piece of equipment.
it is now. It was a flawed piece of equipment before.
Yeah, it was horrible. I'm glad that you took that bullet.
Yeah,
It
well,
was pretty frustrating to drive. I hope the stupid Cadillac doesn't break and ruin our trip.
it won't.
We looked at the map, and there's a dirt road down here. Obviously, we got to check that out.
Wow, look at this bridge.
Pretty nice.
Wow.
Well, at dinner last night, we bought Mason a Shirley Temple, and he was telling us that he was actually crying driving his own truck. It's really bad, all the oil smoke pouring into this thing, and that's what we have to fix. But you bought stuff yesterday.
Obviously, I came up with an ingenious solution to that problem.
I know.
All right, check it out, Freiberger.
So you're putting the thing on.
Twist on breather cap.
And then, oh, you're making a road draft tube.
How did you know?
Yeah.
The hose goes into the hole.
Kind of a press fit.
Yeah.
Pretty good.
And then,
Who are you gonna aim it at?
right out the wheel well.
Oh, I figured you were gonna make me suffer.
No. It's fixed.
I know, it looks great. That was ingenious.
Thank you, Freiberger.
So it's gonna be 106 degrees today.
Oh, warm and balmy.
The hood is off, so I think we're gonna be all right.
Yeah.
We're headed to another junkyard. Looks like everything's fixed.
Yeah. I'm liking it right now. The tendency is to go too fast, so my only thing is not to let it get away from me.
Yeah, don't push it.
No. I'll keep it at 60 tops.
We made it to Big M Auto Wrecking in Williams, California. Whoa.
Look at all these cool cars.
I know. This is a great yard. This place is a gold mine.
Wow.
Wow. When you first come in here, it's like junkyard nirvana. You look at all the steering wheels, all the hubcaps, and to me, the old signs are the greatest. Look at the ancient oil company credit card sign, and there's way more. This is just great. Look at all of this stuff. As great as this whole yard is, the best treasures are right here. There's the 57 Fury, which is like a Christine car. But look at this. It's a 1969 Hearst Olds. This thing is one of 914 made. They were a special Hearst edition. They've got a fiberglass hood with the scoops on them. There's also a wing on the back that's fiberglass. The engine is a 455, 380 horsepower, 500 pound-feet. That is like a legit, very rare muscle car. And you just don't see them like this. That's as cool as it gets. I've seen this many engines at a yard before. I've just never seen them stored like this. Wow. Man, I love this stuff. But unfortunately, it's time to go. Can you get it started?
Bet you.
Ooh, best yet.
You've got it all tuned up, my man. Let's get out of here and head for home.
From here, both of the vehicles just made it home, no problem. But what a way to bookend an episode, from junkyard to junkyard. As a matter of fact, the whole thing is about junk. From the Wagoneer, to the Cadillac, to the Ford truck that ran horribly when we started. And that's the message this whole episode. If you've got a vehicle and you think it doesn't run that good, just grab a friend and hit the road. It's the only thing that's gonna force you to fix the thing. And yeah, our troubleshooting was a little bit clunky, but ultimately we made that truck run better than any vehicle on 6 cylinders really should. So you know what? Buy garbage, grab a friend, make it run, hit the road, and have a blast. Oh, and visit junkyards at every chance you get, because that's what we do on Roadkill.